Native tribes in the state speak out about who they believe should be governor. Campus Native leaders tell us why Indigenous Peoples Day is important, and RAs take a stand about their current working conditions. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Jayden Brannon.
And I'm Romelo Woodfork. We begin with a historic moment in the state's race for governor. Tonight, we know Oklahoma's Native American tribes will come together to support a candidate for governor, something the tribal nations have never done before. OU Nightly's Pepper Papura is in the newsroom with the story.
Jayden, Romelo, the 5 tribes will endorse Joy Hoffmeister at a press conference tomorrow. Chief Chuck Hoskins Jr. says this is the first time the tribes have come together to endorse a gubernatorial candidate. In a joint statement the chief released, they say this election is, quote, the most important in generations for all Oklahomans. That's why the leaders of the 5 tribes are endorsing Joy Hoffmeister. Governor Stitt is also the first tribal citizen to be elected as a U.S. governor. Despite this, Hoffmeister has been a clear favorite for the tribes after the state pursued various legal battles against them. According to the polling data from News 9 and Sooner Poll, Hoffmeister has a 4-point lead on the governor. We reached out to Stitt's campaign for comment and were provided a statement that the Oklahoma Fraternal Order of Police has endorsed him. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Pepper. And to say that the outcome of the OU-Texas game was disappointing would be an understatement. But for some students, it's what happened for the way to or from Dallas that was equally as frustrating. OU Nightly's Dana Searles is live near I-35 with the story. Dana?
Win or lose, Sooner fans always have the headache of traffic getting down to Dallas and back to Norman again. This year, heavy traffic and wrecks along that way made the tough loss that much more painful for fans. Migration to Big D means big crowds on I-35.
You know, the average traffic in that area at the border, at the state line, is usually close to 50,000. That'll jump by almost 18 to 20,000 on an average year, additional travelers that weekend.
The Oklahoma Department of Transportation says it always tries to help drivers out by clearing road construction projects.
But we plan months in advance by actually including in our contracts with our contractors that there are certain weekends of the year that must be open to traffic. OU Texas weekend is one of those weeks.
With the increased number of drivers heading south, fans sometimes take a detour to speed up their drive.
Sometimes if it would get really bad, I would just go on I-77 and just stay there. So
we actually went a different way because my roommate lives in like different part of Oklahoma, so we went from like Ardmore to like a place called Duncan, then to Dallas.
Despite ODOT opening all lanes, accidents slowed many down this year.
Going down to Dallas, it wasn't bad, but coming back from the game, that was really rough because there was a motorcycle accident in like Denton. It was 2 people, a guy and a girl. And so that was like a 1-lane traffic situation. But then other than that, it was pretty clear.
Someone actually hit me, so I was in an accident, but it was like not that bad. Just a little fender bender because people don't know how to drive on their way back to Oklahoma.
Some people said their drive took them about 30 minutes to an hour longer than normal because of traffic, but many say the amount of traffic depends on the time of day that you leave. ODOT says you can look at live travel information on the Drive Oklahoma mobile app. Reporting live, Dana Searles, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Dana. Now I know I definitely enjoyed seeing that we got some rain last night.
Me too, and I'm hoping that we're going to see some more soon. OU Nightly's Jenna Warner has a further look at what we can be expecting weather-wise. Jenna?
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it'd be great to see some more rain, but this is a good start. Southwestern Oklahoma has really seen the brunt of it right now, as Lawton and Ardmore are sitting about under half an inch a little bit. But those rain chances are going to continue to move on, as we do have some rain moseying around the state right now looking at the current radar. But we will be talking about rain more coming up later. We have severe weather potential to talk about coming up. We're tracking your next cold front, and then we do have a fall foliage forecast coming up. Back to you guys to the desk.
Thanks, Jenna. And Russia is launching an increased attack on Ukraine, causing further devastation. Carolynn Felling has that and the rest of the day's international headlines from the News Center.
That's right, Romelo. Russian President Vladimir Putin is threatening more attacks on Ukraine after ordering deadly strikes on Monday. Russian forces unleashed deadly attacks across Ukraine, targeting power plants, bridges, and other infrastructures. Russia says the attacks are in response to the bombing of the Kerch Bridge on Saturday, linking both Russia and Crimea. Kyiv has not taken responsibility for this bombing. Reports reveal new information about the documents discovered at Mar-a-Lago. Former President Donald Trump and his allies insist that the General Services Administration packed the boxes that were sent to his estate in Florida. The government agency released more than 100 pages of emails and documents proving that was not the case. Those documents are now key in the criminal investigation at Mar-a-Lago. After heavy rainfall, a landslide in Venezuela killed over 25 people on Sunday and left more than 50 people missing. On Sunday, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro tweeted that he ordered maximum deployment to north-central Aruga in response to the crisis. The president also declared 3 days of national mourning beginning on Sunday. Over 1,000 officials from the National Risk Management System and police officers are participating in the search and rescue. A growing number of retailers are offering deals without calling them Columbus Day sales, as consumers have began shopping for the holidays earlier than ever this year. Romelo, Jayden, back to you.
Thanks, Carolyn. Coming up, why RAs are worried for the future of their jobs and are wanting to take a stand.
And your wallet is going to hurt a little bit more at the pump. Find out how long these prices will stick around.
With the almost $15,000 cost of living on campus, a campus job that pays for your housing is something most students would jump at. However, some OU student workers believe what they're dealing with just isn't worth it. OU Nightly's Gouch has more.
The responsibilities of an OU housing resident advisor includes monitoring freshman housing, conducting weekly evening rounds, and serving as a mentor from anywhere to 20 to 60 residents. Overall, RAs are feeling overworked, underpaid, and underappreciated. Many RAs are keeping quiet about these issues in order to keep their job, but some RAs are fed up.
August, issues between the RAs and management have been stewing. Now, towards the middle of the semester, things are coming to a boil.
Between RAs at the moment, I think we're all just kind of over it.
For the safety of her job, this RA requested to stay anonymous, but claims that recent changes to their contract is what's made her the most upset.
That is worrisome for us because that job is, it's what houses and feeds us, and if they're just able to change the description of the job whenever they want, that's obviously worrying.
And she's not alone. Another RA who requested privacy said it has caused concern to me and my coworkers since we were not consulted in the changes, and many RAs feel that they have been taken advantage of. This new policy they are referring to requires RAs to stay on campus during their on-duty hours, when in the past, RAs were allowed to be 15 minutes from campus in order to grab food. I reached out to Housing and Food to see why this change was implemented, and they responded saying this was not a change in policy, but a clarification of expectations. However, from a screenshot of an email I received, this was in fact a procedural change in the job agreement.
This policy wasn't the only one left out of the RA contract. Highlighted right here, it says the resident advisor position is a 20-hour per week position. However, the RA I interviewed says that her work week is about 30 hours.
So just in the day-to-day life of an RA, we're already overworked beyond what our contract expects of us and what we were told we would be working coming into the position.
The morale of the position is fairly low, with some RAs feeling trapped because they cannot afford to quit. Since voicing their concerns, one-on-one meetings with management and OU housing staff town halls have all been had, and yet RAs are being told to be grateful for the compensation they already receive. They've also been strongly advised not to speak to media. Gouch, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Gouch. And there's some pain at the pump this week. Olivia Dague tells us why gas prices are higher in Money Matters.
Gas prices are rising. In Oklahoma, they're up 10 cents from last week. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, announced it will cut production by 2 million barrels a day starting in November. However, many oil refineries on the West Coast are back up and running after accidents and maintenance, and many experts are saying prices should be back down next week. And it's not even Halloween, but if you're planning ahead for some holiday shopping, I've got good news. Adobe Analytics says consumers will see an increase in discounts for the holiday season. Inventory growth and less supply chain issues is why we'll see lower prices, and they're expecting people to spend less this year. Adobe says the best time to shop will be Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And if you're already looking for some holiday deals, Amazon is having an October Prime Day sale tomorrow. Romelo, Jayden, what's on your Christmas list?
Well, I know the other day I just added a new wristlet on my Amazon wishlet for Christmas. Romelo, what about you?
Well, my Cash App and Venmo are always open. And thank you again, Olivia. And OU organizations are celebrating Native American people and why it's important.
We've entered the season where Oklahoma temperatures like to fluctuate, and OU Nightly's Jenna Warner has our weekly breakdown and more coming up. Jenna?
That's right, we have some cold fronts in the lineup this week. Stay tuned to find out when. Weather is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We do have some cloud cover out there right now. It's 75 degrees, light winds coming out of the south, and the sun is starting to peek out after a pretty cloudy morning. Now we are seeing some positive changes to our measured rainfall across the state. Elk City has actually now surpassed 1/4 of an inch of rain, and that should continue, but we'll be talking about rain chances tonight in a second. First, talking about your allergy index, today was kind of sniffly and it'll continue to be similar to this picture tomorrow. Weeds, trees, and mold are our biggest contributors. And then on Wednesday, it'll be our worst day for allergies, as weeds, trees, and mold will have all gone up another level. Granted, if you do see some rain tonight or tomorrow, it will be washing out a lot of that pollen, so it does depend where you are on the map. Taking a look at our rain chances for tonight, northeastern Oklahoma has the greatest chance to see any measurable precip across the state. Norman, we do have a chance, it's around 30%, but the chance is there. Lows tonight, because of that cloud cover, will remain pretty above average for this time of year. 61 degrees for our low in Norman tonight. Now we do have some severe weather potential to talk about. This is a 1 out of 5 risk via the SPC. So we are talking about some hail and damaging wind chances, however, nothing in the way of tornadoes. Now this is talking about our setup. We have the dry line coming in tomorrow, and we do have some energy available to be used. However, there is a strong atmosphere in place that may inhibit that action from happening. Highs tomorrow will be in the 80s across the state. It'll be above average again. And then taking a look at our 7-day forecast, talking about that cold front coming in. So we're looking at that cold front coming in late Tuesday into Wednesday morning. So we'll have a high of 78 for Wednesday. It won't impact temperatures that much, and we'll go on through the week. 80 degrees by Friday and Saturday. Saturday will warm up in time to watch that Kansas game. And then we have some more rain chances coming in at the back end of the 7-day as a stronger cold front comes through on Sunday, impacting temperatures into the beginning of next week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jenna. Today, the OU community came together to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. Native American leaders on campus say marking today is incredibly important.
My university at the time, when I was in school, had celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day. I would have felt seen, I would have felt valued, I would have felt supported, and that's something that many people didn't get in their educational experiences.
Ceremonies and events were held on campus today to educate and celebrate that Native people are here and thriving. And there will be a dinner and a hymn tonight at 6 at Copeland Hall. And well, it's no secret that the Sooners got a beating this Saturday and extended their losing streak.
That's right. Dylan Rivera has more from Saturday's game. Dylan, do you have any good news for OU fans?
Well, not only did they extend their losing streak, but it was historically bad on Saturday. Find out what records were broken in the Cotton Bowl this weekend. So, Romelo, no, I don't have good news for you. Sports is next. History has been made by this year's OU football team, and not in a good way. Hello and welcome back into OU Nightly. I'm Dylan Rivera. Wasn't much of a Red River showdown as Oklahoma failed to show up. 49-0 was the final in Dallas. Carly Murray and Ashley Velde were at the Cotton Bowl with coverage of the game. Here's what caught their attention on Saturday.
I'm Carly Murray here with Ashley Velde, and we're at the Cotton Bowl, and the Sooners just experienced their worst loss in this rivalry.
That's right, Carly. Davis Bevel only threw for 38 yards this entire game.
And the defense just could not stop that electric Longhorn offense. They allowed the Longhorns to put up 49 points.
That's the most points scored by Texas in this series, and they completely shut out the Sooners today. 0 points scored by Oklahoma.
Sooners' David Uwegabu says that this doesn't mean that they lack any confidence. They're going to get back in the locker room and get to work.
There's a mindset that's been instilled into this football program, and we're very unshakable no matter win or loss. So answer that question, what we have to do moving forward to keep everybody locked in is just exactly what we've been doing since the beginning of the season. You know, there's a formula that goes into what we do every single day of the week, and I have full intention of following that. I have full intention of leading the younger guys behind me to follow that as well.
Next week, the Sooners face Kansas, who suffered their first loss against TCU today for homecoming.
Reporting from the Cotton Bowl, Carly Murray and Ashley Velde.
Some of the historical statistics from the game. OU has never in its history lost back-to-back games by 30-plus until this season. It was also the largest margin of victory over Oklahoma ever for the Longhorns, surpassing their previous record of 33. And it's 36 holes of golf today for the women's golf team and another 18 tomorrow. The Illini Invitational at Medina Country Club. It's not been the Sooners' day. Oklahoma currently resting at 14th place. Michaela Fortuna is currently tied for 29th at 2 under. In the NFL, things didn't get much better for two of the three starting Sooner QBs. Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts went head-to-head on Sunday, with Murray going for 292 total yards and a touchdown, while his Sooner successor tallied 300 total yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Hurts and the Eagles also managed to get the win. In Charlotte, Baker Mayfield and the Panthers only put up 15 points on the day against San Francisco. And the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner suffered a high ankle sprain during the contest and is slated to miss a few weeks of action. The Panthers also relieving Matt Rule of head coaching duties today. It sounds like if you're a Sooner today, it's not been good for you unless your name is Jalen Hurts. Jayden and Romelo, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. I know we usually hate orange around here, but some good orange is coming up.
That's right. Stick around to hear about some delicious orangeness that was unveiled up north.
I'm Coy Taylor from the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma City Police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened Earlier this morning on the city's southeast side, officers were called to the Plaza Inn near Southeast 29th Street and I-35 around 9 a.m. Police say they found one person dead at the scene. So far, no arrests have been made. Romelo, Jayden, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Coy. And if you're like me and Cheetos are your favorite snack, then you might want to schedule a trip up to Canada pretty soon.
That's right, a new Cheetos statue was unveiled in Alberta today.
The 17-foot statue was made to immortalize the orange dust we all love on our fingers.
If you can't make it to Alberta anytime soon, don't worry. The statue embarks on a Canadian tour after November 4th to share the cheesiness with other Cheeto lovers. And we're going to take one last look at weather. Jenna?
Thanks, guys. Well, if you saw the moon last night, that's not the only orange subject we're talking about right now. You saw the Hunter's moon. So this is the full moon that happens right after the harvest moon that happens at the fall equinox back in September. So the Hunter's moon appears larger and more orange in the night sky. It's really beautiful if you do catch it. And we're also going to take a look at that fall foliage forecast. So this is taking a look at October 24th is when we're projected to start seeing a little bit in the way of some turn on the leaves in Oklahoma. However, portions of the northern U.S. will already be seeing their peak towards the end of October as we work our way south across the nation. And taking another look at the mediagram, we're just talking about what temperatures are coming up. Sweater weather is not any time close to us. You'll have to keep out those t-shirts and those tank tops for a while, as we are going to barely get near 90 degrees for this Saturday. Back to you guys at the desk, Jayden and Romelo.
Thanks, Jenna. And thank you for joining us tonight on OU Nightly.
Be sure to tune in weekdays live at 4:30. Good night.